Let me show y'all. Bro, I don't think y'all, man, I don't think y'all seen these yet. Let me show y'all my first pair.
Go get some work done. Now that I dropped my mom off to the bus stop, now it's time to get some work done and just prepare for a productive weekend. I got some fun little activities to get ready for. You remember that phone call last week? Perfect, man. Well, that's great. I'll be in contact with you, and then I'm gonna start working on these design mock-ups right now, man.
All right, cool.
So in regards to that particular order, I'm now ready to begin the mock-ups and begin that whole design process. What I'm going to be working with is Jordan 5 white metallic base shoe, and really just figuring out how we can like set it so apart from its original colorway, change the midsole, all that, just change the whole thing up. And we just went over those railroad tracks. Change the whole thing up and just try to see what we can do to really just make it something beyond that it was. This right here definitely got to be one of my most prized possessions. It definitely don't look like it, but this right here is my first ever completed reconstructed sneaker that I ever made, and dating back to early last year in the summer. I believe May 2015 when I made these. Took me about 2 weeks to make, like 80 hours, just because basically this whole thing was just a big trial and error process. And I don't think you guys are having a good view, so let me change this. This is my first ever reconstructed sneaker. I have at least 9 or 10 huge mistakes and just huge flaws from everything, regarding just not even being able at the time to correctly actually sew in a leather heel liner. As you can see, I didn't have no room for the actual foam material, so I just had to make room for it and just cut out pieces where I can. Also, even with the particular contact cement that I used, I didn't use the actual right contact cement, so therefore now, 2 years later, the midsoles are actually starting to separate. And beyond that, knowing how to actually properly moisturize Python leather to make sure it doesn't dry out like this, to make sure it still continues to have that shine 2 years from now once it's actually completed and designed. This is like my first shoe, but I got so much love for it, because literally when I had this particular pair, I did not care at all in regards to playing it safe. And like, I remember I used to wear these things to the ground. I went camping with them, went dirt bike riding with them. I did everything just to really push and see how these materials reacted, when you actually put it to some like real deal activity. And 4 to 5 pairs later of just screwing up all my pairs of Jordans like I showed you before, and just doing pairs for myself, I really began to understand, how these particular materials work, what's durable and what's not. And there are so many things out there that's not durable and that's not really for the long run. And it took definitely like 4 or 5 months and $1,100 to like figure that out. But once those like five, I'd say like 4 to 5 of my own personal pairs that I got just like stashed in the closet. Once those were completed, and I kind of really understood what I was doing with this whole reconstructing situation right here. That's when I really got comfortable to where like I can charge Michael Strahan $1,200 and feel comfortable that the shoe that I'm gonna give him ain't gonna fall apart.
But I still never really like imitated the style.